Why can't you just give it to me? I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free? Why can't you just give it to me? I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free? Wake up in the morning with the frown on my face, cause I know it's another day that I gotta face now. For people I don't wanna see, working at a job that I don't wanna be, breaking my back to the bone with nothing to show. But I got dreams and goals, but as soon as I clock in, I'm ready to go. So there's one thing I gotta know: why money ain't free? Why money ain't free? Why can't you just give it to me? Give it to me. I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free? Why can't you just give it to me? Why can't you just give it to me? I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free?
Rocking in that 9 to 5, got your girl hella tired. Why won't they let me be? Now I understand why my mama always used to ask, did I think money grew on trees? I got these bills after bills and they just keep coming. Working overtime but my pockets ain't flooding. Yeah, my funds low. Adult life is ghetto.
Why money ain't free?
Why it ain't free?
Why can't you just give it to
Why
me?
can't they just give it to
I
me?
don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me.
Why money ain't free? Yeah.
Why can't you
Just give it to me.
I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't
Tell me
free?
how the money ain't free. Every 5 minutes, kids bothering me. They seem to think that money grows on trees. Always asking for allowance and clean one thing. I'm sick and tired of my funds being low. Spent the whole bag on the groceries at the store. Got a little something, but I need a little more. And I'm a single mama, you should already know.
Why money ain't free?
Why the money ain't free?
Why can't you just give it to me? I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me.
Doing me.
Why money ain't free? Why can't you just give it
Won't
to
you
me?
give it to me?
I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free?
Why the money ain't free?
Why money ain't free?
Why money ain't free? Yeah, why money
Kris the Critic Relationship Hour with Gina B. Why you are not married. Number one, you ain't all that. I know that's hard for y'all to swallow. I don't look as good as my 22-year-old self. People need to realize that. You just ain't all that. And I get it. I got this master's degree. I went to this school, that school. I worked hard for this job, for this house. And then she over there got that man. And you don't have one. Men are very simple creatures. So, ladies, for you very accomplished ladies, I got some advice for them.
What's that?
I always say it like this. You can write this one down. Be a kitten, not a cat. What does that mean, Kris?
What does that mean?
You ever played with a kitten? It's real friendly. It almost acts like a puppy. And you want to play with it. You want to look at the little kitty. It just makes you feel good. Now, have you ever seen an adult cat? When it feels like it, it might rub against your leg and move away. But is that men like kittens?
Kittens will play with anybody. A cat is particular.
Listen, what did we learn? Men are very simple creatures.
Right.
You can fool us. We want you to laugh at our dumb jokes. So all you super smart women out there, you good looking women, you see a guy you like, you guys do make it out on a date, he actually pays for the date. When you're actually with that person, the dialogue is happening, the dinner is happening, you say, okay, this might work, this might work. It would help if you act a little blind.
Oh my God, Becky.
I mean, you're going to hear me say that a lot. I mean, be nice to
So
him.
you-
If
okay.
you hear the worst joke ever, but if you sort of like them, laugh at it. There you go. Hey, it's a lot of married women out there. If we got any married women chiming in.
Look, maybe
if
y'all
I'm
are
telling a
little
lie,
funnier. That one's a fake laugh.
Let me know.
What
Right.
you're saying is that we should cater to the male ego, and that's what's ultimately going to get us married.
I'm first saying recognize that I think some of us, more women than men, look in the mirror.
Uh-huh.
You ever seen a little lion look in the mirror and see somebody real big? They see somebody a little more fine than what they are. And I'm not calling anybody ugly, so I'm not here to bash anybody.
Let's look at Middle America, okay? Middle America is not attractive.
They're not?
Middle America is largely married.
Okay, I think we're on the same page then. People sort of, we get stuck to reality shows sometime and think we're supposed to have, I got a degree in a house, so I'm supposed to have Idris Elba or his twin.
Well, I mean, if you notice, okay, so you remember your friends from high school, right? And you remember how they had all of these qualifications for, if she's going to lock me down, she got to be this, that. She's got to have an ass like bam.
Right there. You had me at. That's really, what are men? Simple creatures. We want to be fed. We want you to laugh at us, give us some, and that's it. Together.
Hello.
Happy Tuesday, people.
Yes.
That's Gina B over there. I am Kris the Critic, and you are watching the Kris and Gina Relationship Show.
Yes, you are.
It's actually August 6th already. Mm-hmm. We got a little bit of summer left.
Yeah, you know what? My birthday's in 22 days. Should I have a party?
You should have a huge party.
I should?
Yep, with
Think so?
all your celebrity
I'm always
friends.
afraid that nobody will come.
Just invite your celebrity friends and everybody will go.
No one will come for my party. They'll just come because I have celebrity friends.
Well, that's so what? Nobody cares about any of that.
No one cares about my birthday. If you think I should have a birthday party, chime in.
Yeah.
I'm having anxiety.
Are you?
Yeah, I always have anxiety. This is why I never have birthday parties.
I used to be like that.
I've
You
had
had
two birthday parties in my life.
I used to have little McDonald's birthday parties, and I'd be worried that I was going to be at McDonald's with a bunch of cheeseburgers and nobody was going to be there.
I think that you'd probably be happy to have the cheeseburgers all to yourself.
I probably would. I'm a greedy man. Today.
Yes, what is it?
It's a good show.
I love it. What's the national day?
You want to know that first?
Yes.
You always change
me
it.
First. No, you don't.
It is, for all of you that want to get close to someone, it is National Fresh Breath Day.
Oh, that should be every day. Do we need a day for that, or can that just be like any random
you
Tuesday?
need a day. You need a day.
I think folks should be brushing those teeth on it daily.
It's National Root Beer Float Day.
Oh, my dad will like that. He loves root beer.
I love those. Best float ever.
Yep.
And it is National Wiggle Your Toes Day.
What?
National Wiggle Your Toes Day. Wiggle your toes.
Oh. I don't even know what to say about that.
It's probably a couple bedroom thing. I don't know.
Maybe. Okay.
Today's topic's pretty good because anybody watching our show for the first time, Gina B and I talk about relationships. That's what we do. Dating, sex, money, marriage, divorce, child support, all of the above.
Child support.
So today, there are some of us who do want to be married, some of us who are married. And whether you're young or old, people get married every year at just about every age range. So for those of you who might want to be married, or maybe you know somebody to want to be married, today's show is how to or not to
be married.
Make it to the altar.
That's right.
I was like, what was today's
how to get
show?
There, how not to get there.
All right, so
which one do you want to start with?
Well, right now, what do you think the feelings are towards marriage? I posted this rather late, and someone posted, do people even want to get married anymore? And
I saw that comment.
Right. What did you think about that?
I find it sad because I see far more, and people are going to get mad at me for this, but I see far more baby announcements than I see marriage announcements, and that kind of drives me crazy.
That could be a good show.
Yeah.
All the baby announcements we see.
Yeah, and without the marriage announcement.
Thinking about that now.
And when you see a baby announcement, your first inclination is, okay, now who's the father of that one?
Wow.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're just like, I want there to be no question.
Now, see, people come at me when I say stuff like that.
People will probably come at me too, but that's okay.
But just so you know, the person who mentioned it, she was over 40, maybe even over 50. I can't remember. And she says she just wanted somebody to live with. People aren't getting married. I said that a lot of people have that sentiment. They just want, somebody to party with. You have your stuff, I have my stuff. But I looked up a little something. Since, guys, we do the proposing, there are a fair amount of men proposing. Among men aged 50 to 59, the first marriage rate, first-time marriage, we got a lot of remarriages going on because we got a lot of divorces.
Right.
Silver lining.
Retreads.
It nearly doubled, increasing from 8.6 in 1990 to 12.0 in 2010. About 17 men per 1,000 get married. So, that's still a lot of men when you think about the amount of people.
17 men per 1,000?
Yeah. But how many thousands of men are there in the country?
That still feels low to me.
It's percentage-wise low, but it's a lot of men when you consider the men available to get married.
Okay. I'll dig into that.
There are, put it this way, there are about 44 million black people. There are 22 million of those, about a little less.
And 12 of them
are probably men. Are probably men, right? So
one man per 1,000, 1 man per million wants to get married.
So, I don't know how many of those guys are age 50 to 59. What? A tenth? I don't know, something like that.
I think men in their 40s still. Anyway, go ahead.
It's just a lot of people still getting married. That's like 375,000 people still get married every year.
There are benefits to it.
But you hear that? Still 375,000 men. 50, 59 proposing every year.
That's yeah, okay.
That math I did real quick, it could be 37,000. But there are people out there getting married.
There are people getting married.
All right.
Okay. Sounds like, okay.
So, ladies, you're dating this guy, right? There are some things that maybe you shouldn't let happen if you're really serious about this person.
What are those things, Chris?
Well, the number one thing I can think of during this dating stage, don't get caught cheating. Well, not cheating. Let's say this. I have found.
How about don't cheat? What you said, don't get caught cheating.
Well, yeah.
How about just don't do it?
That's probably more accurate.
Like, don't get caught.
Well, here's why I say that.
Rob the bank.
Usually when people are beginning a relationship, you're not official yet, right? But you're beginning a relationship, especially people a little more mature. Somebody's already seeing someone. And I've seen that people just don't hit that off switch and they're not together with that person anymore.
Yeah, I mean, there's always some lingering something going on. But for the most part, you should make the decision. I don't know.
Well, I've seen at least men feel maybe there's too much going on early on, and it's jaded their view going forth. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's a big one. What you got? What do you think?
Well, you know what? I have so many thoughts, Chris.
What are your thoughts?
On how to get married? What?
Things that women shouldn't do.
Shouldn't do. Right. Well, okay.
Or signs that he would see in her or something like that.
Be particular. And by that I mean, don't just be thirsty.
Okay.
Like, so.
Wait.
What?
Nothing.
So when people are thirsty, people can sense that. Like, there are women who probably want to get married. They just want to get married.
That's a fine line.
It isn't about marrying the person.
Right.
It's like they just want to be married. They're like, I just want to be married. And
they want a wedding.
And men, well, with people, okay? So I would not want a man who just wanted to be married to a warm body, just to be married. I want someone who would want to be married to me.
That's usually a woman, though, trying to.
Right, but like I would say,
men know full well we run from it.
Don't be thirsty. Like, people can sense thirst.
I don't know. I agree, but there's a fine line to that.
What's your rebuttal?
Well, I agree. Oh, it's not a rebuttal. I thought that was a fair assessment. It's just that sometimes I think men need a little bit of nudging. I have seen women who've been with a man and wanted to get married. They've known him well enough. They've discussed getting married, and it doesn't happen.
Okay, so you're a little further down the road than I am on this.
Where are you at?
Where I am on this is that when you meet people...
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Don't be thirsty in the beginning.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, you go on one good date, and then you're like, wow, we bullshit.
This is him.
You know what I mean?
This is him. All those MFers I've had, all 37 of them. This is the guy.
he got clean fingernails. He's my man.
He got money, girl. He got all type of stuff.
Right, like don't just sit and chill. Like you're not. You don't want to make it seem like you'll just take anything.
Do you think that happens more with the higher quality guy? Probably.
Yeah.
Because you think about you've messed around with a bunch of losers in your 20s, right?
Right.
Started getting sort of serious, 30 something.
Tired of losers, right?
And then all of a sudden, you're like, oh my God, this is him.
A man. Yeah. All of a sudden.
Yeah, I would definitely then. Yeah, it's a little bit of cat and mouse game you got.
Yeah, play. You just can't be like I see. There are women that I know who just, if you even bring up a guy, like I'll say something like, oh yeah, one of my husband's friends, blah, blah, blah. Is he single?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, but, most of my husband's friends are single. I understand completely why they're single.
Wow. He knows some great guys.
He does know great guys, but there are people that you just say, yeah, I get it.
But I do think, well, we'll get to that. Let's keep on signs he should not marry her. Yeah, if she's too thug. Yeah, that's what women shouldn't do. But I'm saying for a man, what are some signs that he sees in a woman?
Thirst, that's what I was talking about. Okay, so cool. That was the thing. If you see thirst, don't do it.
I think a woman shouldn't be, this sounds counterintuitive to what a lot of women might think. I don't think you should always be focused on being sexy. I think you should focus more on being lovely.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
I used to like being accidentally sexy.
That works too.
That was always my jam, right?
If you're too sexy, every time I'm like, wow, I've seen women, I've gone out with women prior to my retirement, but they wear like really sexy outfits. And of course I would like it at the moment, right? Oh my God, you look awesome. I'm like, I ain't marrying that.
Yeah. Can you put together a fit that makes you look cute?
And don't be overly sexy.
Right, because what you don't want to do, you want to be attractive for your man. You don't want to attract, you don't want it to be every time you go out, you got problems.
Exactly. As a matter of fact, I would almost go so far to say you should save that for when you're married. Super sexy.
Well, and then
girls trip single
but the last thing you want to do though is when you're married, be out there, be too sad, and then now he's got to.
Well, that's when you're with him, right?
When you're with him.
Yeah,
exactly.
But yeah, I know that sounds crazy, and some people are gonna be like, "What the?"
I got it. I mean, you don't want to be universally.
Like every time he shows up, you're just a sex pot person, because then all he's gonna be thinking about is sexing you.
Exactly. Well,
that makes sense.
Isn't so bad.
I think if a woman doesn't encourage you to be better, for instance, I know when I got married, before I was married, I don't like to talk much about us because I get in trouble, but she was more focused on saving. I think people who sort of want you to be better are thinking this would be a good person. So if I'm a guy, and she's like, babe, why don't you save, and not even for her, just, you make it, you save. Wow. How unselfish and thoughtful is that?
Right.
Because, I was going to say this at the top. People confuse marriage, what you were saying, as I got butterflies, I just have the jitters for him or her.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have this big wedding, and you're going to be in it, and you're going to be in it. It's going to be big, and we're going to have it this place, and I've always wanted to have this type of wedding, and I need a haircut ring. And it's more like starting a business together.
It is like starting a business together.
Right?
It is.
And you have to think of not who I am in lust with. You also have to think of who's gonna show up for work on time? Who's gonna be dependable?
Right,
who's gonna be trustworthy?
Who's reliable?
Exactly, and that is usually what marriage-minded men are thinking.
Yeah.
If you're late all the time, he's got to guess. You call yourself keeping him waiting, being hard. That could wear against you.
Right.
Men marry consistency, predictability.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And along those same lines, if I were a man, would not marry a woman who shows no concern for his basic needs.
Abso-friggin-lutely.
Yeah.
Because I mean, somebody said it to me earlier. Actually, it was one of our frequent co-hosts, Sean Watson.
Sean.
She's like, men like their ego stroked. And I thought that was a strong word, but in some ways, it's true. Like, we don't necessarily need gifts, but I'm going to ask my super producer, Reese, doesn't it feel good when a woman says, hey, babe, did you eat yet? Or did you, I mean, somebody's just checking on you, because people don't really check on, I feel like people check on men that much.
Man, they only call you when they need something.
Right, so if someone called you and said, hey, you need something, you're thinking, oh, man.
That's why 90% of men cheat.
Right. Wow.
Is that the reason you think?
Because I'm at home doing everything, and then it's just that one girl that, are you asking me if I need something?
Absolutely.
Are you?
Yep, side pieces know how to do that.
I'm trying to tell you.
Side pieces are always trying to figure out how can I make your life better, easier, comfortable, more this. So if you are the main woman and you're doing that, you got a real good shot at being the one.
Yeah, I would not marry a person who has no concern for, and I wouldn't marry that man as a woman either who has no concern.
Well, typically men are trying to impress upon you, right? And even if you like him back, you got to show him something.
Right.
You got to show him something. Nate Turner, you're right, good brother. Consideration is key.
Yes, it is. Consideration is essential.
Now, for me, I know you're not the most religious person in the world.
I'm not. And
that's okay.
Yeah.
Me personally, I wouldn't marry anybody whose grandmother didn't take them to church or something. If they're great at sex and I don't see any sort of soul, spirituality, empathy in that person, I usually put them in a specific place.
Yeah, you know what? How I'll phrase that is because I am not a church person. I just never really have been. My parents weren't particularly religious. I'm not. But I'm a spiritual person, and I really definitely believe in the laws of the universe and all that stuff.
Right.
But I would say that if the person is not kind of where you are from a spirituality or religious standpoint,
that works.
It gives you should have consideration. So if you're a moderate religious person, and you're like, oh, I like to go to church about once a month. Don't marry the Bible beater who maybe spends 2-3 days a week there. I mean, that's just
if you're not a Bible beater.
If that's not you,
right? Fair point.
It's just not. I mean, find somebody who's like, like we talked about this at the Black Women's Expo, which we were on a panel this weekend.
We were. I made nobody upset.
Well,
except the other panel.
He was on a timer, but that's a whole different story.
The hate. Anyway, go ahead.
No, I was saying we talked about this a little bit. Like it's like you follow your non-negotiables, and if your non-negotiable is that you must be in church and someone must be with you, then don't.
All right, I'm going to go to some serious ones for women, ladies. I know you're out. This dude's investment banker. If you're always eating on his dime, even though he has it, and you never cook anything, chances are he's not going to propose to you. I don't know why it's like that. I've never met, or if there are very few people that have been married 30, 40, 50 years, well, she don't make the man a plate. Those marriages don't work because those are usually some selfish women.
So she doesn't make him a plate. Now, what if she is just not a cook? It's just not her jam. But she takes him out to dinner.
Okay, that works too.
Okay.
I know a married couple, 2 kids, been married a long time. Granted, he's a professional salesperson. She's like a physician. They eat out, but they can afford that. But most people, let's talk, most humans don't eat out that much. I mean, every meal.
What are you going to say? What's up?
What you got, Reese?
So, people that's like, I don't know, like baby, like millennials or something like that, man, that's all they do. It's a lot of women out here, like I said, no shades, that don't cook. Like Uber Eats is they friends.
Listen, don't marry them.
That's like 80%. A lot of women don't cook.
They'll catch on.
Can't cook.
Do not reward bad behavior.
Well, I have a healthy mixture at this point because I'm so busy, but I, DoorDash, I have a very hefty DoorDash monthly bill. That's largely because of my dad, though. But I will also get in the kitchen. Like the last couple days, I've had to meal prep for my husband.
See what I'm saying?
Felt well.
You did what you had to do.
So I made him really great pasta.
Now to fellas, pro tip to super producer Reese's point. Pro tip for the younger, if you're in your 20s, 30s, fellas, if you want to know what type of personality she has, but she just hasn't did it because you've been paying, suggest y'all make something together. Let her know you love home cooked meals. See what happens from there. If she doesn't produce a home cooked meal within the next 7 to 10 days, she's got to go. Because she's not listening
just
to what
kick her out.
She does. Don't even waste your time. Because she's not even listening close to what you need. Just don't do it. It seems harsh. I'm saving you some heartache. Kris Critic.
I love how he just he shouts himself out at the end of points that he feels are valid.
That was hard. That's hard. Obviously, if her phones and clothes and jewelry, if they look like they add up to more than your annual pay, just think about it. Might not be your tax bracket.
Okay, well, what if it is your tax bracket?
Well, maybe.
Or how about this? What if she is handling all of her stuff?
She should be handling all her stuff.
Well, but my point is she's not asking you to handle it.
I got it. She
so
will
that's
be.
no reason not to marry her. Like,
I find it. I don't know.
People ask me all the time if I get irritated about my husband. My husband likes to buy a lot of records because, that's a whole different. He's a DJ, and people are always asking like, "Oh, do you mind it? Does that drive you nuts?" That he's always. I'm like, no, because guess what? He doesn't ask me about my shoes and my handbags, and I don't want him to. I got that.
Right.
Those are more expensive than his records. I'm coming out ahead. Is my point. I have never asked him to buy me a handbag.
I'm sure you don't have $100,000 worth of purses.
Are you sure about that?
Well, again, most people don't have $100,000 worth of purses.
I don't know. I have to. I need to. That requires some thought.
For my younger people who do check out the show, fellas, ladies, it's gonna sound harsh again. I know a lot of people have them. For my younger people especially, if she has kids already or young kids, if you can find a version of her without those kids, go with that version.
I agree with that. And people are not going to be happy with that answer. But
I'm not here to make people happy. I'm here to make their lives better.
Same with men. We'll get to that in a minute. But yeah.
I'm like good medicine. Sometimes it doesn't taste good, but it's good for you.
I mean, after a certain age, everyone's got something.
Everyone's got something
After
to deal
40,
with.
Everyone's got something.
But it's different for men dealing with a woman with a young kid because, 8, 9 times out of 10, that woman has full custody. I must then come in contact with said child's dad. I'm contributing to this household, but I can't discipline that child. Right. Because a lot of women will say, well, you can't tell, you can't spank him. You can't. I'm like, he just took my car and crashed into the tree. He's 12.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can't say anything. And then if you do, you got to deal with some dude. Just
don't spank my boy.
Shout out to the noob, Aaron Foster. I agree. Teens, woo.
Well, teens are bad, but also so are like fresh babies. Like no fresh baby.
Well, it's not actually the fresh baby that's the problem. It's all the other people that tend to say fresh baby.
I don't care what, all that it comes with. Like, if a kid's like, how old is little Murgatroyd? 7 months. Nope.
Heck to the no.
Even really up to 9. You know what I mean?
And not only that, a man has to think, fellas, be logical. A man has to think if she's got a kid under 2, and there's what happened to her and the guy. You thought enough of him to lay down with him, let the dude shoot up the club, right?
Yep.
He shot up the club,
yeah,
and it ain't working. So, okay, he could be a bad dude, but you let bad dudes do that?
Yeah.
Or you're not too responsible.
Fair.
I'm just saying I wouldn't do it. That is harsh.
It is harsh, but you know what? Hey, that's a perspective.
For my younger folks, well, maybe anybody. Again, I'm going to get, Feminati may come after me, but I'm not scared of them. I think if someone is overly promiscuous.
I knew we were going to get there.
You don't like that?
Don't marry her if she's a hoe.
Don't marry a hoe. Don't marry a hoe. Let those hoes go. Yeah, let the hoes go. Because if she's been with, you're 27 years old, you're like, man, this is pretty serious. She's got her stuff together, my stuff together. That body count's up there.
Body count's up there.
You probably won't. If she's had 41 and she's not 30, she won't stop at you at 42. You won't be the last man she slept with.
If she's got her age plus 10.
Damn. If she's got her. Yeah. Let those. I mean, hoes get married. I'm not knocking hoes.
Yeah, they do.
I'm
Hoes
not
get
knocking
married,
hoes.
don't sleep.
Some hoes are great actresses.
A lot of them have to move.
Some of them can turn off their hoe ways.
Well, some of them, they can move.
Temporarily.
Well, there's like the born-again virgin kind of people.
Don't skip those women. You've been spending your whole life giving it away to losers for free, and you want me to invest my whole heart and soul into this and my dollars. Don't even. You bet not marry them.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay.
If some, we got to get together in a little bit. So here are my big ones, right?
What are your big ones?
If you were just dating and she finds a reason to argue all the time, or she never apologizes, or even when she's wrong and your little feelings are hurt, and she has no accountability, it's whatever's good when you're dating is going to get better when you get married. Whatever's bad when you're dating, it's going to get worse.
Yeah.
Now leave that alone.
He's like, now leave that alone.
What did Aaron Foster say?
Aaron said that hoes are unable to pair bond.
There are no official studies on that. There is a correlation, though. They found most hoes aren't pair bonded, but they don't know if it's a cause.
How are they measuring? Like who's?
I just told you it's not factual. Well,
I'd like to be a member of that study.
Well,
who's doing that?
Listen, there are many studies. Women who've had 0 to 1 partner.
0 to 1
are the most loyal throughout the length of a marriage.
18 years old.
No, you got women that haven't had a lot of bodies. Just because, honestly, I say it really goes like that up to 10. Okay. After 10, those women are way more likely to cheat or get divorced. I know what we're thinking. Damn, we all black. We got way too many sex partners. Hey, man, you just got to choose carefully. It is what it is.
You do have to choose carefully.
You got to choose carefully. Speaking of, let's look at one woman's strategy.
Yes.
Fellas, watch this video.
You'll like her too.
Because this is what they do. Because when we come back,
this is what they do.
We're gonna go signs she should marry him. But let's run this.
Here and get married. Oh, I don't want to get married. I'm never getting married. Even if you are trying to get married, don't ever admit it. Don't ever say it. Say, oh, I never want to get married. I like my freedom too much. I like to travel. I like to do things. I'm never getting married. No man has been able to get me down to marry them yet. Don't you even try. You got to give them the reverse psychology. Then they're going to see you as wife because you're hard to catch. I can get her. Then you'll be a challenge again. What if he agrees? Then he's playing the game too. If he agrees, it's like, oh, okay, get some stuff, get some money, get some dates, get some wine, get some food, and eventually he's going to want something. And then you'll say, oh, well, I don't do those things outside of relationships. You never said you didn't want a relationship. You just said you didn't want marriage. So that's different. They already know that women in their 30s, they ain't married, that they're looking for that. So they don't try to mess with y'all because they're not ready for that unless they're older and they're ready for round 2. So if you're in that age range, it's going to be real hard because most men ain't trying to come out here and get married. Oh,
I just don't like those manipulative woman tactics. What do you think?
Well, what if it's not? Okay, so I'll just be clear. Before I met my now husband, anyone would tell you, I was like on this platform, I don't want to get married, I don't want kids. And what I always found interesting about that is that for some reason, I would end up having that conversation with guys kind of early, like first date kind of thing. And they'd be like, what? And it was almost like, even though these would be some of the most dastardly men, like, they're like, what does that mean? So
what type of men were these you were dating?
They're trying to marry.
Nice. I mean, they weren't trying to. Okay, to be clear, they weren't trying to marry me, but they questioned. Like it put something in their head. Like,
was
wait,
these higher value men or
higher value men?
Or of your street? Your street guys that you
higher
kept.
value. Do I keep that? Well, anyway,
You may have some. Everybody got some of those.
I'm not even going to.
Everybody's got some of those.
Dignify. No, but my point was, it wasn't like they were trying to marry me, right?
Right.
But it did give them pause a little bit and say, wait. So are you saying that if like we dated and everything went well, you wouldn't say yes if I proposed? I don't know you. As it stands right now, but it wasn't my. That wasn't my thing.
I got it.
Hey, it could be. That could be a good tactic. I don't know.
But I'm glad because most women will go to that wine and dine thing. And fellas, I've already given you the sign. If you're spending and she's not reciprocating with either taking you out to some home cooked meal, yeah, she's not there.
How many meals? Okay, let me just ask a question. Okay, so how many times do you and a woman go out? Everybody can answer this. Before you think she should take you out? Like, what is the ratio? If you take her out, first date, you're paying, right?
When we first start dating?
Yeah.
2 to 3.
2 to 3. Okay. So if after that third date, she's either got to pay or put out.
She better give it up. Give it up. Give it up. Or she's got to say, let me cook for you. Oh man, we don't always have to go to this nice restaurant. It's got to be something saying that she's concerned about me.
Okay. So she's got to want to take the reins and just say, it's my turn.
Because I have been, admittedly, when I was young, if they were, if the cheeks were big, if I was real, maybe I overspent. It was me. I'm the problem. But don't be me. Don't be young me. Don't be young me.
Chris.
Don't be that dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got to be something coming back your way. Argues, never apologizes. Did we leave out any big ones? Oh. Y'all not going to like this, ladies.
Oh, here we go. I was wondering.
Don't give up the cookies too soon.
Oh, well, yeah, don't do that.
Because we just don't value. We going to try. Listen, when we first go out, we gonna be on our best behavior. But inside, we want to hit. We want to hit. We want to hit. It's your job to keep it away from us. Because no man treats a woman better than before he sleeps with her. Don't. Yeah. Women now, they just, I know they say, when men do it, that's why so many of y'all don't have a ring.
I always say that everything before sex is for the woman, everything after that's for the man.
I can see that working. Yeah. I had to think it. I had to think it through.
Yeah, I always feel that way. Like, you've got something. You've got leverage at that point.
On the flip side.
Flip it.
What do you think about signs a woman should marry the guy?
That she should or should not? Oh, so many.
It's one of those areas where my list is actually a little bit longer.
Well, okay.
Considering I have daughters, maybe that's why my list is longer.
That could be. I always say, just really listen to him, right? On that first getting to know you conversation, date, whatever, your ears should be wide open. And one of the things you should listen to him about is how he feels about the women in his life.
Yeah, I know people say that, but
I'm not kidding. If he talks about hating his mother
could be a lunatic. You don't know.
Well, but you have to listen.
A lot of lunatic mamas out here.
Every single relationship with a woman is disastrous and catastrophic, then say no to that.
I might.
Is there a rebuttal for that? I'm sorry.
No, it's not a rebuttal. I just like to see how people treat like waiters and waitresses.
Well, I'm talking about like before you even get
because those people, if you see a man mean to a waitress or a waiter and he doesn't even know them,
right?
To me, that's a bigger sign than someone who may have harmed him and his family.
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying.
That's true too. Like I have a friend who, she was telling me she's a friend of a friend. I didn't know her very well, but I did not know that she'd been divorced before she was with the guy she's with now. And she said, yeah, I was with this guy before we were married. And one of the things that she cited as a reason why she got divorced is that prior to her getting married, he was kind of an asshole, but never to her.
Yeah, you got to watch out. He'll eventually be an asshole.
At some point,
he'll be an asshole to you.
That turned.
Great segue. We should have mentioned, and this is for both sexes. if someone's, because you will have conflict. I don't care if you married a person or you date them for a long time. You will have conflict in any and every relationship if their fuse is really short and how they argue.
That's a big one.
Because if they argue and they don't have no empathy and they go straight to, and that's why your mama did so-and-so.
Yeah.
That's why y'all out in public. That's why you was adopted and
You're
they
an
gave
asshole,
you away.
just like your daddy.
You know what I'm
Right?
saying? I
Exactly.
mean, some people cut deep. Those folks don't even do it.
Don't. They take no care.
Yeah, don't.
They don't.
That marriage will be a shit show.
Or someone who, like, if you've confided in them about something and they throw that in your face when you guys are arguing.
Oh yeah, early
don't do
on,
that.
especially early on.
That's why I used to wet the bed when you were 7. It's like, well, hold on. That was something.
He pees in the bed. He pees in the bed. That's horrible.
Yep.
Who we got a comment.
We got a couple comments. So we have a woman watching. Hi, Sonia Carter Chapman.
Sonia Carter Chapman, who's on our show. Awesome guest. Go ahead. What
She
happened?
says people always show themselves when they do believe them. This is so accurate. Yes. That's why I say, keep your ears wide open. Listen to things.
Yeah, I would.
Watch things.
This is just general. I would stay away from too many probing questions early on.
Oh, that's the time to ask the probing questions.
No, be a kitten,
no.
not a cat. You do not go out and have this detailed ass business plan. A woman's not getting a ring.
A certain way.
No, you're not getting a ring.
No, here's the
No.
Okay.
Go ahead.
This is how I recommend. Like, I think that in the beginning, when no one has anything invested, is a good time to find things out.
Nope.
Yes, it is.
A man will tell you.
Right, but
he'll show you.
No, you're thinking I'm talking about. Okay, I'm talking about questions like, not necessarily what's your 5-year plan.
Fuck.
Don't ask that question. Okay, so I agree with you there. Don't ask.
I might leave the restaurant.
Don't ask that question, but do ask like, okay, so what do you? I ask.
Don't say anything if you're a woman.
What do you want for your life?
No.
Like, what do you want for yourself?
Why?
Because that gives
he's
you an
going
idea,
to tell you.
That gives you an idea as to whether your life
If
can be aligned.
If you are even close to a husband, that man is going to show you what leadership skills he has.
No,
he's going to
when you
want
just to meet them.
He's going to want to tell you and brag and tell you all the great stuff about him. All you do is sit there and listen. Here's why. If you start asking the probing questions and he's weak on an area, you won't get the truth. So you just let him go. All you do
I don't agree,
is sit there and smile. You're so funny. And you listen.
But you've got to guide the conversation in some direction.
Ladies,
guide
that
the
was a gym.
conversation. It was not
a
quite
woman's
a gym.
job is not to guide the conversation.
What he's basically telling you women is women should be seen and not heard.
I'm telling you, if you got a conversation with that type of guy that you want to marry, the man with all those leadership qualities,
you don't know
will
if
not
you
get
marry him yet. This is the whole thing.
That's my point. So why are you trying to guide anything?
Because I like to know I've learned a lot of really great shit in that first little date where you find out like, okay, well, what do you want for yourself? Like, where do you see your life going? And guys will tell me things like, well, I see myself with 6 kids.
Gina B,
and I would
if
be
you
like,
said
okay,
nothing
stop.
but smiled and said, oh my God, I can't believe they gave me 2 martinis again. 2 olives in my martini again. You'll learn just as much.
I don't know.
He'll just be talking. He'll be trying to impress you. He'll say some really good things. He'll say some things you can question. All you do, you haven't given him any. You haven't invested anything. He's paying for the dinner. Just sit there and be a kitten, not a cat.
Sometimes he's not. Look, I would do this thing where if I found out some shit I didn't really care for and I knew we weren't moving forward, I would split the dinner.
Yeah, I'm not marrying that chick anyway.
That's the whole point.
You're turning my gift away.
That's the whole point. We're not doing all that.
I would not marry him.
I disagree with Tasha Young Levy. I don't often, but I disagree with her. She's like, they will still tell you everything, they will not. You have to guide that conversation sometimes.
No.
Yes, you do. Because guys will have diarrhea
Hey,
of
watch
the
this.
mouth
I'm gonna
toward
go,
areas
I'm
where...
gonna go to it. Whatever source you want to go to, do a little Google search right now. I don't even dispute things I don't know the answer to already. And she knows this.
What are we asking?
You just shouldn't ask any probing questions like that. You should just be open, but whatever. I'll let you find out on your own.
There's no. Well,
she's pretty.
But here's the problem.
We'll find.
Here's the problem. It's a subjective answer because some people are going to say there's no statistics on it because there's nothing that's statistically accurate.
But we do have
It's a
experts that
preference.
give expert opinion.
Experts.
We can report back to them next week. Stay in the show.
Next week.
I already know the answer to it.
No, you don't. You think you do.
Yeah, pretty much I do.
Hey, Louis Green.
Louis Green, what's up? So,
what up, Wes?
If you have, ladies, at one point in time, I'm a retired 8th degree Jedi Knight player, retired. If you have trust issues with somebody, that's not even trust. Watch out for the player types, but more importantly is if you have trust issues. Like, I've seen men lie over little stuff, they know even to lie about.
Yeah.
I'll be there at 5, knowing you're not going to be there till whatever. Or, he said we're going to go to this restaurant. He gets there and he knew dang well he wasn't going to that restaurant. Watch stuff like that. People who lie about little stuff will definitely lie about big stuff. Yeah. So trust is huge early on. Respect early on, both ways on that, especially for women looking at men. If you've behaved yourself, because some men will, if you dress too much he'll treat you like a, but if you dress like a lady, he's going to treat you like a lady. But if you're dressed like a lady and you're at your best and he's not treating you with the utmost respect, got to get rid of him real quick, like yesterday. Like, I'm wondering how I even got your phone number, like that.
Right.
Yeah. You got any ones to jump out? I got a couple more, but whatever.
Oh, go ahead. Just, You don't agree with mine anyway, so it's okay.
No, what is it? I agree. First off, she only remembers when I don't agree. There were 2 or 3 times in this show, rewind the tape, that I said, you know what? I agree with that. What? Uh-huh. They only remember when you don't go along. Am I lying, Reese?
That's not accurate.
Not at all.
Thank you.
Oh, whatever. You're going to co-sign.
Who watches the show?
Dude. This is the patriarchy that I'm fighting in.
I hate that. That's a new made-up ass word.
It is not made
that
up.
word didn't even exist.
God. That word exists.
They get one little word.
It's been the oldest word in the
They get one
English
word
language.
and they just run with it.
That I can look up.
They get one word and they just use it forever.
When was the inception of the patriarchy? I'm going to ask that question to the Google machine. And see
anyway, the patriarchy keeps this country running smoothly.
Smoothly?
Yep.
Okay.
That's another show. We won't get into that debate.
Show.
Ladies, this is big. I know, especially those of us who've picked up a Bible, women will say, well, man is supposed to protect and provide. Well, ladies, he's also supposed to respect, take care of you, and that includes your life goals being a priority for him.
Yes.
That is oft forgotten. And see, that is what true patriarchy does, right? What I just did right there. Hold on. What I just did right there, that was true masculinity, because I'm concerned about her well-being.
The origin of the patriarchy in the 8,000 to 3,000 BC period.
That's back when the world was running smoothly. It is what it is.
Made up word that we just ran with.
Oh, this is huge.
How about a nice big bowl huh?
This is big. Now, you're not probing, right? If you're unclear on, this man's, and you don't even have to ask. If you just you've been on a few dates, and haven't gotten a feel on anything other than his superficial self, like surface level, he hasn't communicated his goals. See, don't ask him, because if he hasn't communicated it after a while, he either doesn't want you to know them, he doesn't think of you that way, or you're not part of it. See, if you force it out, he's going to tell you, and then you don't know what his. But he should tell you. He should tell you what his plans are, and at some point, if he starts including you in those plans, okay, this guy's feeling me like for real.
Or here's the red flag: if he has shared his goals with you, but he's not walking the talk. If his actions are not congruent with what he says he wants to do.
Now that I agree.
A bad scenario on your hands.
I agree with that. It's got to be that way.
I'm gonna do this. You're not doing shit. You're watching television.
I'm thinking about some of the, and I know it's social media. You know how we see a lot of bickering back and forth, right? And usually, I know, or because people ask marriage questions, or I see posts on husbands, but usually, and this is no offense to any I see more single women not wanting to, I guess, follow. We talked about this lead follow thing.
Yeah, I missed that show.
Unfortunately, ladies, men don't drop down to one knee and hope that you'll follow his lead or be submissive later. It just doesn't happen. At least not the men you want. Now, that dude that lets you smoke weed for breakfast with him, he doesn't care if you submit. But usually the men you want, these people are a little more sure of their steps. They don't take as many guesses. So that vulnerability is a huge piece. You have to try and block out past
what are you saying?
hurt.
Yes.
And
You're saying drop the baggage?
Yeah.
You're saying drop the baggage.
And I said that because we see it in women more, but women also look at his past baggage.
Absolutely.
So there are men who maybe they really were in this position before it went left. She cheated, chose someone else. He's not being vulnerable, right? That's the dude you'll date for 10 years, 20 years, 50, 30 years, never get married. Oh, we just decided to, you're 80 years old, we just never wanted to get married, right? You get no death benefits, number one, so don't do that. But that is, you got men with baggage too.
Yeah.
And you should be wary of it.
You should. Some people come with small bags. Some people have steamer trunks. You just got to figure out which you're dealing with.
Right. Hopefully you got a small bag.
Maybe you've got like a little clutch purse.
This is going to sound a little patriarchish.
No.
It's going to sound. This next one's going to sound a little patriarchish.
It isn't so. Go ahead.
And yes, I'm fighting 2024's the way things are.
Okay. Go for it, sir.
If you can tell him what to do all the time, and he's never seeming like in control and you're steering the ship, you'll probably be cheating on him later. I don't care how nice he is. You almost want a guy that's got some rigidity to him.
No,
because that's a man that's going to run a household.
I agree with that because
all right, I didn't know if I was saying that wrong.
But that might be me being a little more patriarchal too. But I do agree with that because women are still turned on by men who exert aggression, right?
Right, exactly.
Like not aggression, but like men who exert like.
But the world is sort of tricking men not to be that way, right?
People have thrown in toxic masculinity.
There is no such term,
thing, right? Like
there's no such term.
My husband now, but
there's no such term.
That's a term they've created for men who are doing shit they shouldn't do.
No, that's a criminal.
Is bad. Exactly.
Right.
So that's why a lot of men are trying to not be that, not be inappropriate. But,
not the kid.
But there are women. Like women are. I know. I for one am turned on by, like. The whole hey, I got this, the confidence, the whole things that are, but I reserve the right to step in if shit goes a little sideways.
Reese, you're a little younger than me. You're still on the market. I got to give my producer Reese.
Is he on the market?
Reese, are you on the market?
Nah.
Oh, he's off the market. So for all my other younger guys out there, you've probably never seen this show. I've seen the reruns of this show called Happy Days, right? Have you ever noticed if you see? Because fellas, women don't even look at what they say. Look at what they react to. If you see Richie Cunningham, who's sort of a straight-laced guy, try and talk to girl A, and then Arthur Fonzarelli tries to talk to girl A, Richie probably pays attention to everything she says he wants. The Fonz sort of lays down, this is what it is. That woman is going to be more attracted to him.
Didn't the Fonz live above a garage?
It didn't matter.
I'm just asking.
He pulled all the...
Okay, I'm just curious.
I'm just saying. That was a little throw in, fellas. A little bonus.
But there is some merit to that, though.
Yeah, so, ladies, if he is too... Because you got to think. You might want children with this man.
You don't want to marry a punk bitch.
And if he's a punk, your kids will be all over the place, in trouble, all of that. And you'll find yourself having to not only be the nurturer, but the enforcer. And you know what I'm saying? And you don't want to add extra. Women are stressed enough today.
Right.
You don't want to have to do that. You want to be able to bask in femininity. Just, what are they going to do for me today? I'm telling you, and it's something that most men naturally sort of have in them already. We see a kid acting wild. I've seen women out. They're more likely to say, oh, they just playing. Nobody's hurt. And we're like, oh, no, hell no. Hey.
Sit your way.
I talk to other people's kids. I'm trying to discipline everybody. Right. Don't let me see some wayward kids. Excuse me, young man. Excuse me. I see people in the store, kids all over the place. Ma'am, I got them. Hey, come here, man.
I got them. Like, who are you,
3-year-old dude is like this. I said, it was a 3-year-old. He was like, I'm like, come here. You see your mother over there? You stayed. Didn't she call you once? She's like, oh, my God, thank you. I'm like, I'm already married. But you find somebody who does what I just did. I'm telling you, that's how you do it.
I love it.
You don't do that?
They're like, what, discipline other people's children?
I only do it to little boys,
no,
obviously.
I don't do that.
I do it to little boys all the time, like randomly.
I would snatch them out of their
grocery
skin.
store.
Nobody would like me. Nobody likes women who do
Every
that.
time I'm in the grocery store, I see somebody with like a little boy. He'll just get too far, and I'll be like, young man, your mother's over here. You don't want to get snatched, do you? People snatch little kids just like you. So I got them, ma'am. Scared the hell out of them.
That's something that men can get away with. Women do not. Like, if I tried to discipline someone else's child, they would look at me like, who's this bitch? Like, getting all in my business. Like,
That's
what?
true.
You can't tell me how to raise. I'm like, okay.
All right. We only have much. Damn.
Yeah, we have like 6 minutes, Doug.
If you have unmatching financial views, when we got married, we went through premarital whatever.
Yep. Counseling.
And my soon-to-be wife, my wife at the time, was like, "Oh man, you make more than I thought." She's like, "I thought you'd have a little more saved," and I was like, "For what you make, why you get all that money from?" But I'm not saying it's got to be ideal, but you should know what you're getting into.
Yes, you
Nobody should go into anything and be surprised.
Right.
Like, damn, it's a lien on our house and we just bought it because he owned 3 other properties that went into foreclosure and whatever. You should just know your situation. Right? Is that fair to say?
That's fair.
And then is it palatable to you? And if it's, if you can tolerate it, in addition to knowing where you are, where do we want to go? Right? Yeah, sort of like that.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, you definitely be on the same page, and definitely make sure that, the person values the same. Like, if you're very,
that's a good point. I see where you're going with
very entrepreneurial, and that person's very corporate.
Yeah.
Then you have different systems of thought on how this whole retirement thing's gonna go.
True.
Or how not even getting to retirement, and you don't even need to think. Just like how your life is gonna flow, right?
That's true.
Like, are you gonna want to take, $100,000 one day and throw it into some idea that may or may not then we need to keep our shit separate. You just need to figure it out.
What are your thoughts on women who are with, men who've been married prior?
The best case scenario is someone who's been married before that has no kids.
That is the best.
That is the best case scenario.
Unless you don't have kids and they got some adult kids with some grandkids and you sort of like playing with kids every now and then.
Well, yeah. But the only reason why I say it that way is that you want a man who especially if you're getting married after 40, you want a man that can commit to something.
Right.
But they don't necessarily need to bring, ex, wife, baby mom, blah, blah, blah. Because, when you don't have any kids, it's a luxury. You don't have to ever see that ex again.
I would want to know who divorced who and what were the parameters around it.
If they take responsibility. See, this is the thing that also concerns me. It's
right.
Glad you brought that up. If you talk to somebody, because everyone wants to talk about their past relationships and blah, blah, blah. It takes 2 people to break up a relationship. I don't care what anybody says. Give
me some of that. Give me some. Say that again, Gina B.
It takes 2 people to break up, and everyone's culpable here.
Yep.
Right when a relationship falls apart.
Yes.
Now, what you want to see is, does that person take the responsibility for their share of the breakup?
That is the biggest piece you want to see. I would even favor a person who committed the act or whatever, the act that whatever. Over a person who did not take accountability for their smaller piece. I just think it says a lot for character. And people who do that typically learn more from their failures than people who say, oh, no, what? It was all him.
Right.
That dude, I had to cheat. That dude never came home. That dude never did this. He never showed me affection. He never did this. What else am I supposed to do?
Well, that also means that they're subject to making the same mistakes.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I'm saying.
If you don't learn anything, you're going to consider, like, this is, I believe, the connection with the universe. If you're given signs, and if you don't learn the lesson, it comes back stronger and stronger.
But if you're a person who can't be accountable, you'll say the universe, it meant something else. You will keep making up stuff.
Absolutely. Let's be gibberish. I think we're almost at. So
yeah, we are. So I'll wrap up. Yeah. I'll run through.
Yeah.
I just want to say that financial piece is usually one of the top 10 reasons. It's always in top 10 reasons, any area that you go in the country, top 10 reasons people divorce. Ladies, I am going to say, there are a lot of divorces are up. 70 to 90% are filed by women. So if you missed that first wave of men, 28, 35-ish, they're rolling around again.
Yeah. Hopefully they're no worse for the wear.
Because along with women's rights and women being able to do everything, they also cheat more. So hey, it is what it is. Okay. Here are finally, I'm going to give a quick list, and then we got to get out of here.
Chris got a list.
But here are signs that you should marry somebody.
Okay, let's go positive.
You want me to run through them real quick because we are pressed for time.
Yeah.
If he or she plans for the future, especially the man,
yes,
always look out for a man speaking of the future with you.
We speakers.
There you go. What'd you call it?
We speakers.
Gina B is good for all those little sayings.
We like a we speaker.
What do you call the people who like to sleep with larger sized women?
Chubby. Chubby chasers.
Well, what about people like to sleep with people who are real funny?
Chuckle fuckers.
Y'all thought she was all prim and proper. Y'all should see her doing the breaks. If you argue well, that person goes to the top of the list. Yeah. People who can disagree and say, you know what, I get that. But if that people is a rarity in 2024.
Yes, it is.
If you can find someone you argue well with, marry him, lock horns, say, you know what, I don't even know if I love you yet, but I love everything about you, and you just marry him. Remember, it's a bit, happiness comes later.
Yeah, whatever, it just comes later.
You trust him or her. Trust is big. If you have a mature relationship, and when I say that, some relationships, admittedly, let's all say it, folks. It starts off sort of lustful. Everything is a honeymoon period.
Yep.
Oh my God, he did this. We went here. Everything is like a dream sequence. Be careful. A lot of people get married from dream sequences, and then they come back down to reality.
You're like, who this?
Well, I don't even know if I like that. Right. What happened?
I don't think this is the right person. After you spend $50,000.
I know women who call me like week one. I met so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. Week 2, oh, my God, he took me here. Week 3, oh, my God, he's the best in this, that, and the other. Week 5, 6, you know what? It's a new dude? What happened? It was too much just built on, it has to be a mature relationship.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Similar goals, comfortable around other people. You both fight fair. I think a sense of humor is huge.
Oh, it's essential. Oh, my God, we laugh all day.
We would drive around in the car singing songs together.
Fuckers.
We would, yeah, exactly right. We're chuckle fuckers. Laughing is good medicine for anything, anybody, any relationship, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a wife, whether it's a husband, whether it's a parent. Laughter is a great thing. So anyone who can, especially when things aren't the best, right? You guys are both starting out. You hate your job. He comes home, tell you he's laid off. And somehow you guys know it's going to be okay. Nobody's panicking. You trust him. He trusts you. And you all laugh about it later on when he gets a better job. That type of person, that's who you build a life with.
That's right, because comedy is tragedy plus time.
What did you just say?
Comedy is tragedy plus time. I used to be at
Reese,
Second
you
City.
see that?
I was at Second City for a while.
Comedy, it's tragedy plus time.
That's right.
I took a course at Second City. I didn't get to that level.
I was in Second City for years.
If you get taken, you know what we did? We had to, we did improv.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, Kris, throw a ball to that guy over on the other side of the room. So I throw the ball. They're like, throw a heavy ball. And I'm like, and you got to catch it. Ugh. Yeah, actually, it was sort of fun. I ain't going to even lie. What else we got? Oh. Core values. That's a big thing. And what's the last one I want to say? They're sort of relationship tested. If you guys have both been through a little really tough time, that people actually makes a relationship stronger if you get through it. It is an awesome litmus test before you get married. You know, a lot of times people get married, we never had a big argument.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't get married yet.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, it's a good test. You want to know a good test of a marriage? Open a restaurant.
Oh, by the way, Gina B, will you plug your... Gina B has, first off, anyone watching this, if you're in the Chicagoland area, it is probably, I mean, honestly, your first time restaurateur. It is a beautiful establishment. Tell them about the restaurant, Gina B.
Wax Vinyl Bar. It's in West Town.
You said that really fast.
Wax Vinyl Bar.
Wax Vinyl Bar, people.
WaxVinylBar.com. We have great DJs. We only spin vinyl. We have great ramen, chicken wings. We have cool people. We have a beautiful bar.
Now, if you paid somebody for a commercial, would they have given that? No. The first off, you go into the place, it looks awesome. The first thing you'll notice is all the decor. It just looks high end. You're gonna notice where they have a DJ, but the DJ's playing all vinyl. They have how many records in the place just all standing out?
Like the place holds 7,000 records, between 7,000 and 9,000 records.
Trust me, it's something to see. I would check it out. It's an awesome place.
They're real records.
Gina B is black. It's black
I am. So's my husband.
Allegedly. Yes. I'm messing with you, Lee. Anyway, we out here like last year.
That's right.
So next week, one of the rare times I do know the title, we have a special guest. She's a divorce coach. Sharice Carter's going to be on here. We're going to talk about dating after divorce. So if you've been divorced, you know anyone been divorced, we're going to get tips on dating. We're going to ask a bunch of questions for you. Kris and Gina, thank you for joining the show. Tell some folks about us. Share the show. All that good stuff. Anyway, we out here like last year. Kris and Gina, shout out to you, Reese. Appreciate you, brother. Peace and love. We out here like last year.
Lot of thoughts in my mind, gotta designate what to leave, what to take, and appreciate. A lot of people talk fly, but I levitate. Rise above with the love when I meditate. When I meditate. I roll with God cause he never late. My sundial and denial up in Ben Franks. On the road, let's travel with a full tank. Revolutionary overture, that's two saints. I mean, that's two sons. I mean, that's two saints. Like Peter Paul, me and you could be the new saints. Let me paint a new picture.